guys, Kyle Morrison from menafterdivorce.com. Today I just want to talk about divorce support for men. So cultivating sort of support networks to help you through things. It's really hard after a divorce to pick yourself up. You need people around you to help you, and that's just the human condition. We always need that. No matter how independent we think we are, we always have some sort of support network, some social support networks, I guess I should clarify. Now, women tend to do this a lot better than men, I think. Men try to be as strong as they can and be as independent as possible and not need help. But when it comes to losing your wife and your family, these are some of the most devastating things to hit a man, and you really need some people around you to help you through. And this can come in a lot of different ways, but it has to be done. And now, there are quite a few sort of support networks out there as sort of formal support networks, I guess. Classes you can go to and groups and so on. There's more of those appearing, but typically there haven't been too many for men. There've been some, but they're a little bit hard to find. There are more coming up, thankfully. So you can sort of go to your local directory listings and find some, and I've got a few links on my site about that as well. But it's really important to make sure that you do it in your own life, not just relying on support groups, but actually having a support network, real people, real friends, real family that can help you through this sort of thing. So I just wanted to go through a couple of points that could help in this. So keep it pretty simple. I'll just go some of the things that you don't want to do, some mistakes that guys make when they try to create support networks when they don't already have a strong one. I mean, if you've already got a very good support network, that's fantastic, good for you. If you don't, you do need to work on it, but these are some points that don't go well. So when you're talking to people, when you're trying to engage people to see if you can find someone that can help you, that you can make a connection with, do not blather. Don't go on about it too much. Now, this actually isn't a problem for most guys. Most guys actually button it up pretty tight. But sometimes when you find someone who is willing to listen, it's kind of a relief, and you might tend to go a bit overboard when somebody is actually saying, tell me about it, and it can be freeing, but it can also be a bit intimidating for the person that's listening to you. They don't want everything all at once. It's going to be very difficult for them to handle a massive outpouring. So you've got to just make sure you measure what you're talking about when you're talking to them. If somebody's asking you if you need help, then by all means make sure you talk about these. Make sure you talk about your feelings, but don't sort of overdo it in one hit, otherwise you can put people off, I guess. You might find people that are very willing to listen to all that, and that's great, but in my experience some people can be a bit intimidated by guys that get sort of just too into it, and sometimes that's very emotional, very raw, very painful, and that's very hard for someone to deal with unless they're a really, really good friend already. This one's probably more important than the one before, actually. I probably should have put it as number one. Don't choose the wrong people. You might know a guy who's been through a divorce, but if he's come out of that divorce and he's bitter and he's jaded and he hates women or whatever else, is this really going to be a good guy to have you to sort of be a support network? He's already still dealing with his own stuff. You don't want to choose those sorts of people. You don't want to choose people that just don't engage properly with this. You don't want to choose people that have absolutely no idea about marriage as well. You've got to choose people that will be able to empathise with your position, and they're not going to try to lead you astray. People that are going to listen to you, and they're not going to do things that are dangerous or problematic. So I know many guys who become single again start hanging out with their single friends. And some of these single friends are single for a reason, and they're not good for your emotional recovery, let's put it that way. So just make sure you choose the right people, and that's, I don't want to stereotype, there are plenty of single people out there that are going to be the best support you can possibly get, but just be really careful when you're choosing people to open up to and people you're asking for help. Most importantly, do not give up. Do not think it's too hard, I'll deal with this just on my own. There is an element of dealing things on your own in this. You have to have reflection upon your own internal workings, your own mind, but don't just give up and think it's too hard to maintain a support network. Sometimes you might talk to a few people and then it drops off the radar, or you don't feel like seeing them and so on. You've got to not give up. You've got to make sure that you actually make a commitment to keeping in social contact with important people in your life. That is absolutely essential. Never give up on creating a social network. These things are just they're the things that will eventually help pull you through once you've done your internal soul searching. So, listen, what you should do, probably more importantly, is again find the right people. Choose the people that are actually going to help. Choose the people that aren't fair weather friends, people that are going to stick with you. Now, you may not even know them yet. You might meet them later, but just be careful about who you talk to and then pick the right ones. You don't need a massive amount of people to help you through this, although more is better. But most importantly is you just choose those people you can really trust to help you through the hard times. Commit to social interaction. So don't sort of wait for them to come to you. You may feel miserable. You may not feel like getting out of bed in the morning, but you've got to make a real commitment to some social interaction with these people. So always be prepared to go out somewhere, even if you don't feel like it. You may be miserable the entire night, but it's better that you're miserable in company than being miserable on your own. The chief reason that people suicide, especially after divorce, is lack of social connections. Suicide tends to come from being so alone and having nothing left. And the more people are in contact with other people, the more that bolsters you, and it can stave off that depression, even if you're still not feeling great. So don't think that, even if you're not feeling 100%, and then you go out and you still didn't feel better, that still helped you, that going out and having that social interaction. Now, another thing is being honest. Honesty is a massive part of any relationship. It's a massive part of a relationship with yourself as well. If you get my drift, you've got to be honest with your intentions, your feelings that you share. Don't sort of lie about it. If someone says how you're feeling, that sort of, oh yeah, I'm fine, I think you're better off saying, I'm struggling, but I'm still working there. Be honest about everything you possibly can, but don't blather, as I said. Another thing is to have empathy. You want to choose people who have empathy as well. Someone who will empathize with your position, will understand you, be able to understand the pain that you're going through. But you should also have empathy with the person you're talking to. They might have their own problems as well. It's a two-way street. You can't just have them as a support person and you just take and take and take from them. You've got to also be able to give back. You've got to be a person that can help them as well. And it doesn't, obviously, if you're in a really rough position, you're not going to be able to help very much, but just have empathy with what they're dealing with too. And sometimes that means just asking questions about them. Don't be a sponge on their goodwill. Make sure that you're also giving something back to this relationship. That's the way to build a really strong social connection. And it's amazing what people will do if you show some empathy for them. It's amazing the strength of commitment they'll have for you and what you're going through if you show some empathy towards their position as well. So that's just a couple of things. If you need some more help on dealing with divorce, then head on over to my website, menafterdivorce.com. I've got an ebook there that I've written from my own experiences. I'm a divorce guy myself. I've written down all the things that I've learnt, and after speaking to a lot of other divorce guys, on how to deal with divorce, life after divorce. Not the financial aspects, just the emotional aspects, the real recovery to make yourself happy again, to make yourself successful again. I mean, these are really important things. So this is sort of post-divorce. Once all that other stuff is finished, if you're still struggling, then hopefully my ebook can help. So head over to the site and take a look.